Hello everyone, Neil Patel here. Thank you for downloading the latest episode of the Indian Startup Show. So today I speak to Rahul Chovva. He's the CEO of Letzchange.org. Letzchange is an online giving website helping you leverage your social network to raise funds for causes you believe in. So since launching, they've done really well. They partner with 200 non-profits across India. So in this episode, we talk about how the platform works, examples of really interesting crowdfunding campaigns in rural India, how much money they've raised, the state of the crowdfunding industry in India, and an exciting initiative called Giving Premier League. He also talks about plans for the future, the hardest part about building the business, and Rahul shares his tips on creating your own crowdfunding campaigns. And we have some Meryl Streep painting and food chat as well. So please enjoy the show. Thank you. Hello, Rahul. Thanks for coming on the show today.
Thank you, Neil, for having me.
So please tell me about Letzchange, please. Sounds interesting.
So Letzchange is an online fundraising platform, which we call it as a simple social giving platform. We are based out in India. It has been founded by Vikrant Bhargava, an entrepreneur based out in London. He's not just an entrepreneur, he's also the philanthropist and also an investor for Letzchange. So we are basically to create a platform for all the nonprofits in India, of course, with a certain criteria. And we help them raise money. We help them provide a platform where their volunteers, their donors can come, not only donate, but also leverage their social network and raise money for the cause they believe in, for the charity they support, they have been supporting, or they wish to support.
How long has this been running and how's it going so far?
So we have been launched this site in 2014 with a few set of partners. It went on a very nice beta phase for the past 1.5 years. So yeah, we have been in this space from 2014.
Excellent. And can you set some stats? I mean, how's it going? How many projects have been set up, and how much money have you raised?
Since 2014, this is the first of its kind in platform in India, and we have partnered with more than 200 nonprofits. I mean, they have been vetted and verified by us, spread across India. And projects close to 450 or 460, and we raised about 5 crore rupees from the past 3 years, dispersed across all these charities.
How does it work? For a first-time visitor to the site.
So any first-time visitor can log into letzchange.org. If he wishes, he can directly donate to any of these charities, which are spread across 15 causes, ranging from education, youth, women empowerment, disability, disaster management, and there are various 15 causes that we have divided. We cover we cover almost all. We try to cover all the causes that are existing and the charities that are working in India. We actually avoid causes which are overtly religious in nature. And we only support organizations which have an ATG certification, which is given by the government of India.
Can you give me some specific examples of crowdfunding campaigns?
So you can say that we are the organizations, we support majorly these upcoming organizations which are actually struggling to raise funds online. At the same time, we do support bigger organizations, providing them the fundraising tool, which is as a part of this platform. I would say one of the best partners of Letzchange have been Bhumi, based out in Chennai. They work in the area of child education. They have raised more than 1.25 crore in the past 1 year. Just 1 year, in 2016. Okay, that's good. And there are other organizations, be it Sant Singh Haji Education Society. It's based out in Madhya Pradesh. There is Family of Disabled, based out, which works in the cause of disability, based out in Delhi. There is Vidya Poshak, which is based out from Karnataka. They work in the cause of child education. There is Unnati, which works in the skill development sector based out in Bangalore. There is Blood Connect, which works in eradicating the problem of the lack of donors and try to connect donors across India, which is based out in major cities but primarily located in Delhi. Yeah, and I can go on with a big list of names. Yes, we partnered with bigger charities like Akshay Patra, Isha Education, or Teach for India. These are bigger platforms that we have also partnered.
Excellent. What's your particular favourite one then? Any one that you really like?
So I shouldn't be picking. As a CEO of Letzchange, all the partners are equal to me, but my particular favorite would be one which has actually used the platform very well, could scale up its organization over the past 3 years, raising their donor circle from a mere 200, 300 to more than 3,000. That would be Sansing Haji. Mm-hmm. So this was the organization which knew zero about the online giving space, then how to actually raise donations online. They actually came to know about retail donations, understood about the concept of online giving or fundraising through Letzchange, and they have raised more than 6,000 donations in the past 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. How big's the team?
Our team, Neil, we are a good 15-member team, spread across marketing and communications, partnerships, and majorly technical.
Mm-hmm. And what's your background?
I have graduated from IIT Kanpur in 2011. I've completed my master's also from there. Mm-hmm. After which I worked as a management consultant for 1 year. Later on, I joined Letzchange.
Mm-hmm. How did you find being a management consultant?
That was exciting. I was in the pharmaceuticals industry. Mm-hmm. I was a consultant to one of the top 7 pharmaceutical companies of US. For the APAC division, to be more specific, I can't give the name of the company. Mm-hmm. It's, of course, one of the multi-billionaire company in the world.
Mm-hmm. And what made you want to move or switch careers to join the crowdfunding company?
I actually loved, it's not that I didn't like the healthcare sector. It was really exciting. But this was one good opportunity when Vikrant approached me. He wanted to venture into the online giving space. And he's a philanthropist, and his idea of philanthropy and actually inculcating the habit of giving in Indians, his vision to actually enable the charities across India with the tool of social giving was something that impressed me a lot. And this was the direct impact to the development sector of India, and hence I loved and I joined this job.
Mm-hmm. What do your friends and family think of what you do?
They are quite excited. I mean, many of my friends think I'm doing a great job.
And what plans do you have for the future?
So currently we are serving about 200 charities. Of course, I would want to see a stage where we are helping out every possible charity in India, which is doing great work, and we would like to raise as much as possible to them. And of course, we would like to partner with a lot of foundations so that we can create a bigger impact and raise more funds for this sector.
Mm-hmm. What is the crowdfunding scene like in India?
So I would say for the past 4 years, it has been pretty good, actually. There are good organizations coming up. Letzchange is a not-for-profit organization. We are here only to help the charities. We do not make any profit out of this. There are a few other organizations which are based out on a for-profit model. They too are doing great. And it's not just about helping charities. I would say India is slowly coming up, growing. The number of online givers or donors is pretty much increasing. Not only charities, but also to these beneficiaries of the healthcare sector, like it might be people suffering from cancer or any other disease, is something that has been good. And you might be aware about the great demonetization effort from the Prime Minister of India. Though this has been applicable for the charity sector for the past 2 years, that none of them can accept a donation in cash worth more than 10,000 rupees. After the demonetization, it has been more effective, and people now actually look out to the ways to donate or give money online only. So you should say that yes, there was a good push by the previous government, and now it is a great push.
Excellent. How big do you want to go with this?
So I see that 5 crore is a good start, but I'm sure we can do many times than this. When I and Vikrant actually discuss, he loves to compare stuff. So we are pretty much inspired with Just Giving of UK. So this is how we look up to. Like UK is pretty much very small when compared to India, but using just a platform like Just Giving, it has, in the last 11 years, it has raised 4.2 billion US dollars. So I'm pretty sure India, like much more bigger country than UK, and also has an inherent habit of giving. Of course, there I would say most of the giving goes to religious purposes. Can now start giving to the needy, the beneficiaries, the development sector, or something like that.
How do you go about growing the user base then? Is it more social media, or is it word of mouth?
Yes. So that is exactly what we call. So Letzchange is called a simple social giving platform. So it's not only that online giving we want to inculcate in people. We would also want people to raise money for the charity they believe in. So this is something that we feel will suit to the Indian audience. What works in India is not an ad that you see about a charity doing great work. Of course, it might attract a few eyeballs. But what more works is a peer-to-peer interaction and mouth-to-mouth publicity about various charities across the people. So if I see an ad of Cry doing great work in any of the areas in India, I might just note that ad. But if one of my friend approaches me about he raising certain amount of money and trying to reach a target about, let's say, 1 lakh rupees or 10 lakh rupees, then I would rather be happy to be a part of his campaign and donate to that organizations. Because it's not that I don't believe in crime, but it's because my friend wants to do something and I want to join him to create that impact.
What would you say was the hardest part about building this business?
I would say the hardest part in building this was one, doing the right research, what exactly this sector needs. Two is that nonprofits in India face a lot of constraints. It might be due to the regulations of the government over here, where they restrict charities to use, they restrict them from using more than 15% of their budget. So due to which most of the charities cannot afford good resources, be it for marketing expenditure or any technical expenditure of maintaining a good site or hiring a good designer to design their site. So charities are not exposed to the right way of communication or marketing. So we had to give them a lot of hand-holding. We had to do a lot of hand-holding. Now we are actually conducting workshops, but over the past 3 years, we have to make them understand the power of online giving or the power of social media. So teaching them These charities are located somewhere in some rural areas of India. To reach them, to make them understand the power about digital media, the power about social network, the advantages of coming online was the most toughest part. But I'm really glad that there are a lot of charities which are very quick at learning. But of course, there are a few who have their challenges. And it's not that they don't want to, it's just that they lack resources.
Excellent. Looking back, what's been like the highlight so far?
The highlight, Neil, would be this. I would like to take few case studies. So one, of course, as I told you, is my favorite organization, which is Sant Singhaji. It's an organization based out in a rural area of a state called Madhya Pradesh. It's started by a gentleman who has been an IT software engineer who left his job in Bangalore and went back to his village. And he's built up this organization called Sant Singhaji, which was imparting education to the people of the rural area. So this person was dependent a lot on high net worth individual donations. He was having a huge lack of funds, due to which he had to sell his house to actually continue his organization. When he approached Letzchange, he actually didn't knew about how the online fundraising thing worked about. So in 2015 was when he joined Letzchange as a part of a small campaign that we started at that particular time in the month of February and March. I will actually explain that later. So he was given a target of reaching 300 donors and raising 2.5 to 3 lakhs. And he was they were very underconfident that they would not raise, because they thought 300 donors is very difficult. But we made them understand it's not. So in 2015, they raised more than 300 donations and close to 3 lakh rupees. And that was great. That was a good start for them. And after 1 year, in 2016, they raised more than 2,700 donations in less than 45 days and close to 15 lakh rupees. That was the biggest achievement, I should say. And they continue to raise online. They continue to come up with various small challenges or campaigns through their volunteers. They could build a lot of volunteer group, and they could actually enhance their entire work and scale up their work to reach out more and more beneficiaries. That I would say is a big achievement. One of our partner scaling up their ability to raise more money, scaling up their budget, scaling up their impact, and hence reaching out to more and more beneficiaries.
Excellent. So if anyone's listening and they want to do like a crowdfunding campaign, any like do's or don'ts?
I would say the entire idea about crowdfunding, especially India, is just budding up. So I want people to be more and more creative, not just following the regular way. I would say use more and more digital tools. Don't have a strategy in mind. Don't send mass mails to all the people. Analyze your donors in different phases according to their giving capability. We are actually working on something that we could analyze a donor as per his past giving records to the charity and place him in a giving circle depending on his capability. So if somebody has donated 100 rupees last year, we hope that his capability increases to 200 this year or something like that. And we don't ask him 1,000 rupees or 10 times what he has given last year. So we are working on a model which could actually segregate their donor network, the entire donor network, into different circles, and accordingly phase out how we need to target our donor base and how we need to engage them and how we need to ask them to reach out to their own network. So that's what I wanted to say. Yeah.
What are you working on right now?
So in 2015, we came up with a challenge which is called a fundraising challenge. We had two versions of it in 2015 and 16, which were pretty successful. We raised more than 1 crore each time, which were dispersed across to 30 to 40 organizations every year, where we had given a target to each of these charities. Like the first year, it was that they had to raise 300 donations and raise a minimum of 2.5 lakhs, and they got 100% matching grant. It was pretty successful when 8 organizations actually raised more than 300 donations in less than 45 days. In 2016, we raised the bar, the maximum, and we created slabs that, like, let's say 100, 200, 500, 1,000, 1,500, and 2,500. And when actually my team decided it will be the highest bar would be 2,500, I was not confident that somebody could actually raise that. I mean, so many unique donations. But to my surprise, there were 2 organizations. One is Sant Singhaji and then the other is Vidya Poshak from Bangalore. They could actually raise 2,700 and 2,500 donors, respectively, in less than 40 days. And each raised about, one raised 15 lakhs, the other raised 9 lakhs. That's a big donor base expansion. So keeping this in idea and keeping this as the baseline, this year we had started something called as Giving Premier League. So it is very evident that people belonging to a region love to give to their own region and work for the development of that particular region. It is very evident with the previous stats, and if I belong to a particular city or a state, I would like to donate to that particular city or state or to the cause, to the organizations which are working for the development of that region. Be it like they're working towards the education of the slums located in that city, or probably working for the homeless, loitering around in that city. So what we have done, it is very much similar to the lines of the Indian Premier League or the Badminton Premier League. So we have divided the entire region, entire India into 7 regions, and we call them, and each of this region has about 14 to 15 charities of that region working across various causes, be it like women empowerment, child education, or disability. And we team them up into 7 different teams. Each team has got a very exciting name, like Chennai Changemakers, Bengaluru Bravehearts, Northern Knights, or something like that. And it's a competition. It's about which team can actually raise the maximum amount. And it's going on, and it's going to end in the next 3 days. Currently, the Northern Knights is leading.
Who's winning?
Yes.
Sorry, didn't get that. Who's winning? Sorry.
It's Northern Knights which is leading the league.
Okay.
But actually, it is fluctuating. All these teams are competing very well with him. Sometime it is Northern Knights, sometime it is Heroes of Heartland. So we never know. It's always that the last few days have been very exciting. And I would love the audience who are actually listening to the podcast. Please log in to www.givingpremierleague.com and contribute to the state they belong, or to the team they like, or to the cause they like.
Excellent. I'll definitely put that in the show notes. Last few questions then. Away from this business, what are your hobbies and interests?
I love arts. I do paint, and I'm a great foodie. I love to cook.
What food?
So, I love Indian cuisine a lot. I cook a lot of Hyderabadi food, which the city which I belong to, and of course North Indian sweets.
Okay, cool. And who are your business heroes? Or it could be anyone. It doesn't have to be a business.
There are a few. I personally am interested a lot into films, I should say. So I am a big fan of Meryl Streep. As a person, as an actor or whatever it is, I think that she has achieved a lot, and it is very commendable and it's very admirable and very inspirational. I am a personal fan of Dhirubhai Ambani, one of the biggest business magnate of this country. I mean, this country has seen, who has struggled and has achieved a lot in the lifetime, and you can see how Reliance is doing now.
Excellent. Let's say you met Meryl Streep for a coffee. What would you say? What would you talk to her about?
Oh my God, I'll be spellbound. I probably cannot. I would probably not able to speak to Meryl at all. And the recent speech that she has given in the Golden Globes, I guess that's a very big eye opener. I mean, the way she spoke about the issues. I think every actor or every person, every celebrity who can actually speak out, and that actually shows a lot of power of the democracy. So it's really commendable.
What would you say is your favorite Meryl Streep film?
I like Kramer versus Kramer. And the recent, and not film actually, her acting in Iron Lady.
Okay.
And of course, there are a lot of movies. I mean, I can't take one or two. I mean, so Devil Wears Prada also is something that, though she has not won much in about the Devil Wears Prada, but it's an amazing movie, I feel.
Yeah, it is definitely amazing. You mentioned art. What is it you actually paint then?
I do a lot of watercolors. So you might say that it was something that I did in my school days, and which I continue in my free time. It's mostly sceneries, and it's Greenlands, if to be more specific, or else it would be some kind of a spray paint or something like that.
Where do you get your inspiration from?
Not one. See, it's. I'm not a fan of modern art, but I'm a fan about Renaissance period. So, I mean, the way art has transformed from the Renaissance to the later time of art. So that is something that actually fascinates me a lot. Very frankly, I don't understand modern art. I feel it is, it just above head. I bright colors. I mean, I really love bright colors, and probably that's how I get attracted.
Nice. Okay. So if anyone wants to get into the crowdfunding industry, any advice?
Please write to Rahul at Letzchange.org, and I would definitely like to work with you, because this space needs a lot of talent, a lot of people who are interested. Definitely the non-profit sector in India needs a lot of people. I feel this sector needs to be developed as a whole, because in India, both the corporate and the government sector have started to work in tandem, and the output of it has been really great. But what I feel, which has been left out of this coalition, is working with the non-profit sector also. So India needs to work. The for-profit industry, the government industry, and the not-for-profit industry need to collaborate and work towards a lot of things in this country. And there is a requirement of a lot of young intellectuals who are interested to create a greater impact in this country. So anybody interested to do anything in the non-profit space, I would love to discuss with them. I would love to collaborate with them. They could write to me at Rahul at Letzchange, letzchange.org.
Brilliant.
And for the crowdfunding space, of course, Letzchange is all open with its arms for people to join our team, work for the crowdfunding platform.
Excellent, Rahul. Thanks for coming on the show today.
Thank you very much, Neil. It was great talking to you.
And you. And I wish you all the best with Letzchange.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So that's Rahul, and if you'd like to know more about what he does, you can go to Let's Change website. And that's the end of the show. If you liked it, please leave a rating and review of the show. Just search for the Indian Startup Show on iTunes. We're also on Apple TV as well. And for your Android users, we are on Stitcher, Overcast, Pocket Casts, Instacast, Podkicker, and Downcast. If you have feedback on the show, please send me an email, hello@neilpatel.co, or tweet at Indian Startup SH, or you can go to facebook.com/Indian Startup Show. We'd love to connect. Thank you and goodbye.